So we're going to start our project by painting the background. And I want you to dip your brush in water and draw 2 lines across your paper in water. Now you can see the wet lines up here. I've got 2 lines going from one long side to the other side. It doesn't matter exactly where they are, but I want them to be one above halfway through the page and one below near the bottom of the page. Once you have that, you're going to dip your paint in the blue and you're going to paint the top section all blue. I want you to fill the whole area blue, all the way to the edges. Now once you have that section painted blue, you're going to dip your brush without cleaning it into the white. And look how they are mixed together. So get a little bit more white. Now this is a blue and white section. I might get a little bit more blue and white on my brush so it's like a nice middle color. So see, sometimes I dipped it a little bit in the blue and then a little bit in the white to get a little bit of both. But for this last section, we're just gonna dip it in the white now. Only white. And it might have a little bit of that blue still in there, and that's okay. But it is mostly white now. Look how I'm doing long brush strokes side to side. Side to side to side. That is a good stopping point for today. We're going to let it dry and then we're going to come back to this and put on some trees. On this green paper, I'm going to be drawing my trees. Now, what shape do you think a tree should be if it is a pine tree? I'm thinking something like a triangle. So I'm going to be drawing some triangles. Now I can have a tall tree like that. Maybe I'll do an even taller tree. Maybe I've got kind of a wide tree or a medium tree. I'll be cutting these upside down, so I've got this nice space here that I can flip it upside down and do an upside down tree. I want you to have at least 3 trees. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees, so I've got extra in case I don't like one. But I do want to see some different sizes, so some are bigger and some are smaller. All right, so draw at least 3 trees, maybe even 5 trees. And once you've got those trees that you like, we're gonna cut them out. So I've got my 5 trees. I'm going to line them up biggest to smallest, just to see what I've got, to make sure that I truly have some big trees and some small trees. Great, I've got some good variety. And now I want to add a little bit of texture on my trees. So I'm going to get something like maybe a green marker or a green color pencil. You can kind of pick which one you want to do. You could even do a green crayon. And I'm going to be adding some details onto it. So I could draw some zigzag lines. Or perhaps some straight lines that go up and down. Maybe some bumpy lines. And I think I'm going to do some more zigzags. I just love how those look. These are going to be even more spiky zigzags. And then maybe some straight lines that go different directions. So I got all different kinds of texture-y lines to show some more details on these trees. Now one thing I do want to note is on this side, I can still see some of my pencil lines. So I want to make sure I erase that, or I could have drawn it on the back so that I don't have to see any of those pencil lines. I don't want to see them. I'm going to take these trees, I'm going to stack them all up, all on their little bottoms. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm going going to paper clip them together. All right, and that is going to be doing it. Next time I'll get to put these on my snowscape. Now that our paper is dry, I'm going to take my trees and I'm going to kind of lay them out. Now, if I've got a big tree, I have a small tree, which one do you think is the tree that's going to be farther away? That's right, the smaller tree will be farther back, the bigger tree will be closer to the front. I don't want to put just one tree right in the middle, so I'm going to kind of off-center, maybe play around with where I put them. Got this other small tree. So this one is not quite as small as this one, so it might be a little bit farther forward on my page, which makes it look like it's closer to me. If I put it up here in the sky, that makes it look like it's kind of flying, and it just kind of doesn't look right to have this big giant tree back up here in the sky. So I'm going to move it closer to the bottom, which makes it look closer to me. I could even overlap that tree a little bit. Maybe this one is going to be farther up on the page than that guy. Maybe I'll put him off the edge a little bit. You know, I could put this one somewhere. Maybe I'll put it off the edge over here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. So I'll lift one up and glue it down. Lift this up. Move it off to the side. I'm going to go all three sides, try to get to my points. On this one I do glue. And then rub it down. Try to make sure those points are really sticking down. I don't want to see those points sticking up. So I probably should do this one first because it is behind my other one. Squish down the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, it came up, so I can just lift it up. Put it down again. Point, point, point. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this guy. Point came up again. Oops, it looks like I got a little bit of paint still on my finger. That's okay, because actually what I was going to do next has to do with paint, or at least snow. So I'm going to take my white oil pasteler crayon and maybe I'll draw a little bit of snow on some of my trees. And maybe it's just kind of on the top of my tree, or maybe it is in the sky. I could draw circles. I'm not just going to do dots. I want to draw those circles, make them look snowy. So if you want to draw some snow, drawing little circles, you could even do little X's on top of each other to make it look like snow. I don't want to cover up my whole trees, but I'm going to do part of my trees snowy. And now I look like I've got a little winter wonderland, but like, oh my goodness, I have trees falling off the edge. You know what would look really nice is if I had trimmed those trees down. So I've got them off the edge. I can just take my scissors and trim them off. Take my scissors and trim off that edge. And now I have a really nice winter wonderland full of trees. Where I start in the front, I have my big trees in the front, and as I go farther back, they get smaller and smaller. Or as I go higher up on my page, they get smaller and farther back. All right, your turn.